One second. And we are live.
GM folks, I hope everyone is having a good evening. So Hyperedge presents Winter of Blockchain is back again with yet another session. This is an open source contribution program for contributing to blockchain and related projects like, blockchain gaming, protocols, community platforms, DeFi, NFT creator, and other ventures. So this program is chain agnostic, and we are allowing new developers to make a career path in the blockchain industry. So, as you have heard across all our socials, yes, today we are having our first community project on board, which is WOOTZAPP, and we have an amazing speaker right now waiting to deliver this session. He is none other than Sandeep Srinivasa, and he'll be telling you all about his project WOOTZAPP. So, yeah.
So I'm adding you, Sandeep. And
hi everyone.
Hey Sandeep, how are you doing?
Good. Thank you so much for having me on this.
so first things first, people, if you have any questions, please drop them on the chat. We'll take them up as they come, and once Sandeep is done, sharing the basic stuff about his project. And like you all are aware, today's session is about how you'll be able to contribute to WOOTZAPP and how the general workflow will be going on GitHub. Like what you need to do exactly, we'll be covering all that, right? So, yep. Yep. So, Sandeep, if you want to stream or something, you can.
No, I mean, I'm not going to stream a presentation. I'm just going to be talking, and giving a brief intro and everything in that.
Sure. So, first things first, Sandeep, can you tell us something about the organization, like how it came to be?
All right. So, I have to kind of mention what we do, what the product is, and what we're building, right? So, WOOTZAPP is basically we're building a browser, a proper web browser with an integrated crypto wallet, right? Um, I like to think it is the first browser created in the last 30 years, which is not owned by like a large conglomerate like Apple or Google, right? So if you're looking for a project to go to the moon, this is it. Okay. So uh, when I started working on this about a year back, I was primarily inspired and focused on India, right? On Bharat specifically. um, you know, Especially one of the things that I was thinking is that crypto and Web3 and blockchain is very focused on the West, right? Most of the projects that are created are from the West. The design language is from the West. The use cases are from the West, right? Um, for example, the world's most popular wallet, right? And I'll not name them, but we all know who they are, right? Is a desktop browser plugin, right? How many people in India even have a laptop, right? The mobile browser experience, the mobile wallet experience doesn't exist. Now, why does it not exist? It's not because the technology can't be built. It simply does not exist because crypto and blockchain and Web3 is very, very focused on the West, where everybody has a MacBook Pro, everybody has a laptop and everything. So, when we started on that, we said that how do we bring it to the billion people, not just in India, in Asia, like in Indonesia, China, there's the same demographic, right? Everybody uses the mobile phone and everything. So for us, basically the question that we asked is that how do you build the UPI for crypto? Right? And most people UPI is a invention of India that no other country has. And it's a fantastic thing. People when you go to the US, you can't transfer money through your mobile phone. It's very weird. It's like it doesn't work, right? So we have probably the most advanced payment system in the world. And and that was an inspiration for us. That like, how do you take an inspiration from something that is so deeply Indian, and a fundamentally great technology built in India and for Indian use cases, right? Like, and everybody uses a mobile phone here and everything. Um, so the question that we asked is that UPI is very popular, but why is it very popular, right? So UPI uses the same technology as bank transfer. There's no difference. It uses the exact same thing. But how many people have logged into your bank account, net banking, and transferred money? Nobody, right? But everybody has used UPI. Even your grandmother would have used UPI. Why? Why? And it took me some time to figure that out also. But like, it's quite simple. UPI became popular for one reason only, because of the QR code, right? The fact that you don't have to fill in the bank number, account number, the IFSC code, the branch address, just this much was so powerful. Just that one feature, right? That everybody said, boss, like, just scan the QR code and transfer money, right? And then that's when we realized that, look, you don't need to build rocket science. You don't need to go and invent some new blockchain algorithm. Like, with all respect to everybody inventing blockchain algorithms, but like, you don't need to invent blockchain algorithms. All you need to do is to build something with great design, great UX, and a very, very, specific user flow for India, for Bharat, and like make it mobile first. And that's what gave rise to, WOOTZAPP. And for people who don't know what the name means, so Woods is basically an ancient metal that was made in India. It is the strongest metal known in the world. It was actually banned by the British when they colonized India. So Woods is like far more stronger than chrome. If you know what that means. So that's basically the reason that we built WOOTZAPP. It is bringing crypto to the billions in India. It's built for India, built in India, and that's what it is. Yeah.
Okay. That sounds like, an amazing background check on, the payment systems in India. So next question I have to you, Sandeep, is what exactly is the, tech stack that you guys are building on through WOOTZAPP? Like how are you all, developing it?
Yeah. So, WOOTZAPP is obviously built as a mobile app, right? It's mobile first, mobile only. We don't care about the desktop, right? So, when we had the choice of working or choosing like a tech stack, we experimented with a lot of them. If you go and look on our GitHub, you'll see a lot of dead projects, old ones, and we kept all of those dead projects as a history, right? We've experimented with native Android, native iOS, React Native, and everything. And the one that we found the most friendliest, and like the one that a lot of people that were able to use was Flutter. Um, we found the development experience to be very, very good, very superior. um, I will not compare whether its performance is the best and everything, but you will love working in it, right? And we I mean, you need to love working in like whichever project that you work in. So we use Flutter. We think it's a fantastic language. Google has and there was a very recent Google event on Flutter, like I think just last month. So there's a lot of cool stuff happening in Flutter in India specifically, and I think the Indian Flutter ecosystem is really, really amazing. If you go to the US, then Flutter is probably not that popular. Everyone is like using Swift and everything. But again, from an India perspective, like Flutter is one of the most amazing projects to work on and everything. So we use Flutter. There is no backend. There is no backend very deliberately. WOOTZAPP was built and is built open source, and it is built privacy first. So we don't even track ads. There's no data sent anywhere. We do not save your wallet addresses. There is no backend. We do not even ask for your email addresses, and it will stay that way. It is built very deliberately like that. There will never be a backend, right? The only backend service or whatever that we integrate is Crashlytics, which is to find out if there's a crash. But other than that, no backend. We basically obviously integrate like a lot of crypto wallet chains inside. We do talk to RPC endpoints of crypto wallet, but that is the blockchain's own specification, but we don't have our own backend, and we will never have a backend. Yes.
Okay.
So next
my
up,
next,
okay, sure.
I still have a question.
Go ahead.
So thank you so much, Sandeep, for giving us the deep dive into the tech side. So now I want to ask you the crucial question. Like, what is the use case of WOOTZAPP, and how is it, targeting the, the society at the grassroots levels through blockchain? Like, how is, blockchain facilitating this, new, payment gateway that you are proposing?
Right. So basically, here's the simple point here, right? We want WOOTZAPP to be the first or the way in which your grandmother uses crypto for the first time in her life, right? So here's the big thing, people forget to ask, right? That there's a lot of people here, even students and and everyone who are wanting to work on Web3, blockchain, and everything, right? But today, Web3 and blockchain is still very developer centric. It is still not commonplace in the world. Like, you can't go to your chai wala, you can't go to and buy chai using crypto. You can't go and buy bread using crypto, right? And one part of the story is all the blockchain scaling protocol, all of that. But the other part of the thing is that even if you fix all this protocol, how are you going to walk to the chai wala and pay, right? What is the mechanic, right? Are you going to carry your laptop to it? No, right? You need to carry your mobile phone, something, right? And that's basically the use case. So the use case is very, very simple. If you are a crypto trader, if you are an advanced investor, and everything, this is not the app. You are the person who is basically first time to crypto. You are the billions of people in India. You're your grandmother, your mother, your brother, your father. All of those people. They don't use NFTs. They don't use the blockchain. They don't use anything, and we want them to use the blockchain. And teaching them is going to be very simple this way, because all you're going to say is that you don't need to worry about a wallet, you don't need to worry about anything. All you need to do is use this browser, right? And whenever you go to a crypto enabled site or anything, it'll just work.
That sounds amazing. I mean, obviously, like till now, we just pay 10 rupees fiat to all our chai walas. And yeah, I'm looking forward to a day where I can, just pay point BTC or something like that, and easily
Yeah,
get hold of.
so exactly. That's the thing, right? That is the use case that we're focused on. Yeah, in fact, there's so much focus in the Web3, in the blockchain industry to build, on the dApp side, on the protocol side, but nobody's thinking on how to bring crypto to the last mile. We call this the last mile, right? To the actual users, to the users who don't have a desktop, to the users who don't have a laptop, to people who don't have MacBook Pros and who just have mobile phones. And explaining what a private key and a public key is to your grandmother is going to be impossible, right? So how do you bring crypto to these people? And that's the question that we're trying to answer.
Got it. Yeah.
So, Rebecca, I'm taking on, right? So, like Sandeep said, this is very impressive, right? Not only is UPI, gonna change everything, also the big proprietary companies, that extensions you spoke about, we all know what Snap, we all know they are all jumping on it right now, right? And as far as I have seen, WOOTZAPP was like it has like it's one of the pioneers of putting on UPI and IMPS, that kind of stuff, on mobile first dApp, right? And
Yeah.
so basically, what I want to ask is at what stage it is currently right now, and like what is the kind of contributions that you are expecting from our contributors at this point
Right.
of time?
So first of all, WhatsApp is live, right? You can download it right now on your mobile phone and use it. And I again want to reiterate, WhatsApp is open source. We don't touch your private keys. We don't. There's no backend. We don't take your data. So please feel free to try it, right? Even if it crashes, please file a bug. Like there's no danger. Okay. So that's number one.
I'll put it.
So
I'll
it's
put it on
live,
the.
right?
I'll
Yeah. So
put it
it's
on the
live.
project. Yes.
Yeah. In fact, like our project management development system is actually very smooth, very pleasant. We build the app and release it on GitHub only. So if you go to our GitHub and like you look at the actions tab, that's where we build. We don't build it on our laptop. Also, we build it in a very public way so that like people are ensured that like that hey all of this is happening in a very public way and everything. So it's live, everything work. I mean, not everything work, everything like doesn't work, right? We're in uh, a stage where you don't have to worry whether this project is even going to see the light of day, right? The project works, it's live, the basic features are in place, and like things are moving forward. So this is a very good thing because what it means for you if you choose to work on this project is that you're going to work on a project where the fundamentals and the base is set very well, right? So there's no unpredictability. Oh, like we're going to change the programming language, or we're going to like do it this way. So all the basics, the fundamentals, and everything are in place. It is live. It is released. So it is guaranteed that whatever work you will do will also see the light of day. You can actually show it to your friends that look, this is the work I'm going to be able to do. So that's actually a very big positive, a very powerful thing that like you're going to get like in working on this project. So to all the all the students and everyone like thinking of doing this and like in open source in general. My thought is that see, open source is a very powerful way for students in today's world to build a resume, right? Because like it's hard for you when you go out into the world, when you go out into the professional world to prove yourself just on the basis of your college grades and everything. But like open source really builds that profile for you. It sets you apart. It gives you that like resume, and like it really helps in your career. And I think that like Girl Script and like your Winter of Blockchain and everyone are doing like a spectacular job. Like programs like this. The ecosystem of open source based out of India is very small till now, right? There are very few open source projects that are built and operated out of India. Still a lot of, mostly most of the, even if you look at Google Summer of Code, most of the projects are out of India. Which means that like, for people who are working on that, you don't have that personal touch, right? You can't pick up a phone and you can call and talk to each other because everybody is in the US, right? Which is why like, I like working with projects that are based out of India. Now, when students start their open source journey, a lot of them fail and a lot of them give up. And the answer is very simple why that happens. Because for the very first time in their life, they don't have a teacher, right? Open source is the first project in their life when they have to do everything themselves. There's no tuition teacher, there's no class teacher, there is no professor, nobody's telling them anything. You have to do stuff yourself. So how do you do this? How do you make this a success? So there are three pieces of advice that basically I give everybody, and I think this is always work. So number one, start small. Even if you are the best programmer in the world, do the non-coding parts first. So in terms of this project, there's level 1, level 2, level 3. So for everybody, I suggest that always start with level 1. Even if you are like want to do the level 3 project first, start with level 1. Get accustomed to the project, get used to it, like get comfortable with the app and everything. This will build your confidence. It will also help you learn some of it, become comfortable with it. And I recommend this to everybody. Second, don't be afraid to ask questions. Right? Post on Discord, post on GitHub, file a bug, even if you don't think that it's like a very good bug. We are a very friendly community, and nobody is going to be rude to you, like Linus Torvalds. Like, even if you post bad bugs, we'll still be friendly, and we'll close the bug, but like we'll be very friendly to you, right? Um, and number three, and this is the most controversial, that to work on code, you don't need to be an expert in programming languages, right? So you don't need to learn all of Flutter, all of Dart, even if you're working on some other project, like all of React, all of Java. Don't like go and do like a 100-hour course on like React to start working on a React project, or like 120 hours course on like Dart to do. You don't need to know all of it. You just need to know enough to start working, right? So we recommend this, like, I think it's a 5-day, 3-day course to do learn Flutter. But just get done something very quickly and start working on the code. The best way to work on a project is to work on the project. Don't go and learn something else, do a PhD and come back. So these are the three pieces of advice that I kind of give everybody. And this will ensure that like you have a very successful winter of blockchain. Now, in terms of the project, the way that I've kind of structured it, so we have three levels of project, and then there is a secret level that I'll tell you later. So, in the three levels of project, the first level is basically around testing flows with a lot of different free tokens. Now, this is a lot of fun because what you'll actually be doing is minting free NFTs, minting free tokens, and everything. So if you get tokens, like it's yours, right? But most likely, what will happen, and I kind of admit it, is that you run into some bug, some crash, or something. So what we want you to do is like report that bug, file a bug on GitHub and everything, and you'll get points for this, right? This is level one. There are like multiple types of these kind of bugs and everything that we've kind of done that. You don't need to have coding experience to do level one. You just need to be able to use the app. You need to have some knowledge of crypto, blockchain, and everything. That's basically it. Level two is like easy coding. So it's things like write test cases. Before you get started on this, if people who are interested in this level two, we'll actually do a coding session for them, so that they have an introduction to that. And you do test cases. Then there's one part of it where you do language translations. We want it to be multiple languages and everything. So there'll be that kind of bug. So it's like small bugs. You write test cases, you write small language translation, you'll get points for this. Okay. So this is level two. Level three is additional features. Now, in this base, again, we'll do programming sessions for you to learn about this and everything. But the projects here would be again, they're not super complicated and stuff. So for example, we work today on Android. We used to work on iOS, but the build is broken. So you can fix the iOS side, clean it up a little. Design. So this is the part of the project that anybody who's interested in building nice UI for Android and everything can work on. Just take there's no new features as in new algorithms and everything. You just take the app and build new design and everything. We do have one algorithm part of it which you can kind of read when we release that. So all three layers are kind of done very nicely. Then there's a secret level, right? We call it level X, right? This one basically is specific to Solana features in WOOTZAPP, right? And it's done very deliberately because right now there's a very big hackathon happening on the Solana side also, right? So basically, if you kind of build some Solana features into WOOTZAPP and everything, so we'll merge the Winter of Blockchain project into the Solana Grizzly hackathon and submit it on behalf of WOOTZAPP. And that's a very big, thing. There's $1 million worth of prizes and rewards there. So anybody out there who's really, really into, who's also experienced in Flutter and everything, and is looking for projects, this is the track that we should go into. But even for them, I say that please start at level one so that you become more comfortable. So these are the tracks that we have.
So the Grizzly-thon was a really nice touch. So thank you, Sandeep, for such a insightful overview of the project, right? And I would like to point out to all the mentees who are interested in WOOTZAPP that, like Sandeep said, and also this was asked by someone in the chat section as well, right? Someone was asking if you'll be having a detailed discussion about the tech stacks used, or maybe how like this project life cycle goes on, or what exactly to do when they start on, right? So this is really an insightful take on that. But apart from this, like Sandeep said, we'll also be having coding sessions, and like periodically maybe, and obviously you can like converse with him on the Discord channel that we have made. And fair warning here, because I have like seen this before, right? Please abstain from DMing in personal chat, right? Do use the channels that we have made, and there obviously Sandeep or one of the mentors like who are assigned to his project will take those up and guide you, right? So yep, Rebecca,
Yeah, I think I saw one question on like the chat asking that like if you'll kind of teach the stack to build this from from scratch and everything. So let me answer that, right? So WhatsApp is built in Flutter, right? We will actually point you to the right resources to learn Flutter from scratch, and it's not a very long tutorial. It takes like 5 days to learn Flutter and everything. So it's a very nice course. It's a very strongly recommended course and everything that will teach you the basics of Flutter. And then for people who are interested in level 2 and level 3 projects, we will do coding sessions which are targeted for WooTzap, right? Like so we'll teach you about the architecture of WooTzap and what are the features, where how should you start coding in this, where should you submit this code and etc. and everything. If you're doing level 1, you don't need to know this. You can like basically get away without like writing code. But for people who want to do level 2, level 3, and obviously level X, like we'll do like proper coding sessions.
so and mentees need not be also worried, because like if when you are coding it up, if like after you make the PR, if there is some margin of error, or if it's not following the particular pattern or principle that open source standards that the project follows, obviously Sandeep or one of the mentors, anyone would review it repeatedly before it's completely merged, right? So you can like for now I would suggest that you go study the code base, suggest study the, what do I say, maybe Flutter or basic Flutter, or that stack that Sandeep has mentioned, and well, get to know the project, right? um, Anything else, Rebecca, you'd like to add us?
So yeah, that pretty much sums up everything. Like, I mean, we are almost 30 minutes into the session, and Sandeep did a very good job in, introducing his project to the community. And yeah, guys, don't worry. In case y'all are new, we'll make sure that, we point you out to the and guide you to the, best resources. Like Sandeep said, you just need to have some good, some experience in Flutter, which can be, I think, covered in 5 days. Am I right, Sandeep?
Yeah. In 5 days, you'll be very good enough to write Flutter code. So
It's just
just
like
just just spend 5 days, and you'll be good. Yeah.
So yeah, we are just trying to create this platform so that you guys are exposed to different flavors of tech, and then finally you can choose something for yourself. That yeah, this is something that I really want to do more, and this is something that I really want to deep dive into more. So yeah, have a good feel at exploring Flutter development through WOOTZAPP. That's all that we can suggest you guys. And I think if anybody has any questions, you can just drop it in the comments or DM Sandeep. He's there in the server. So
There's
yeah.
a
Absolutely.
category, there's a category specifically for WOOTZAPP. Like it shall be unlocked from now onwards. You can like tag him in and bother him anytime you want on the Discord server, basically.
Yeah.
And yeah,
And
he'll be having the support of our mentors. So we'll be assigning him one or two mentors from our side. Like we already have like a pool of over 50 mentors. So
yep.
yep.
And
Mentees are in great hands.
if anyone is looking for resources, we have already posted some in the there's a channel called Tech Resources that has the basic roadmaps and how you can get into Web3. But apart from that, like Sandeep said, he will also be pointing to resources that are specific to his project, like this project. Okay, so we have one question in the chat. Hello, thanks for the introductory webinar. Will there be any specific group task, or will the tasks be for everyone?
Okay, so yeah, so let me like answer that question, right? So level one, level two, level and probably level three are specifically designed to be done individually. So for example, if you look at level one and level two, they're basically like stuff like test cases, adding language translations, things like that. So test cases will take you like probably like 1 hour to do that, or 1.5 hours. Like, language translation will take you 1 hour. So they're basically designed to be done individually. There is only one project in level three task, which is basically where you are working with what is called the provider. That can be done in a group setting, and level X, which is like the Solana features, obviously can be done in a group setting. So if you are like choosing that, like, I'm obviously going to be, at hand to help you and mentor you down the chain. But 90% of the projects are designed to be done individually. So you don't need other.
And so, like, if any one of you like finds any bugs or like level one issues, like Sandeep said, like you can go ahead and make an issue in the GitHub, report it, right? And from there on, it can be taken up, right? Okay, so we have another. This is okay. Someone is asking, like having 4 GB RAM architecture sufficient for running Flutter or Android Studio or something on his PC.
Yeah. So Flutter by itself, yes, runs in 4 GB. Plus Flutter plus Android Studio will have trouble running in 4 GB. So I generally recommend that, like, doing it in 8 GB. You can still do it. It's like it'll just be slow, but it can be done. So in if you're doing it in 4 GB, then I recommend don't use Android Studio. Use VS Code. It is a little more lighter than that, but you'll have the most pleasant experience with 8 GB. But 4 GB can be done.
Like when I used to do it, I like installed the emulator from Android Studio and coded it up in VS Code, right?
So we recommend don't use the emulator, right?
Yes,
When because emulator will kill the
yes,
laptop, right?
sure.
So you should always like target your mobile phone and like test it on your mobile phone. It takes 10 seconds extra because it transfers to your
Yes,
mobile phone and does everything, but your laptop will not die.
yes, cool. So I have some experience in Flutter and okay, but don't know much about blockchain. Okay, so full stack developer.
Yeah. So again, like I think probably if someone is asking that question, then they're asking about level one and level two and level three kind of projects, right? So we will actually do coding sessions. So we'll teach you, right? Like how the architecture works and everything. So you don't need to be worried about that. I still recommend for you to still do some of the level one like project just to get an idea of blockchain, because level one does not have any coding. It's just testing and like design and like those kind of things. But like yes, when the coding part starts and then you want to like start doing, you'll do proper coding session.
So yes, exploring the code base and the application is the primary task that we should do in every open source project, right? So you can do that right now. I don't see any other questions in the chat, so I think we can wrap this up, right, Sandeep?
Yeah, I'm good.
So
Yeah.
cool then.
So thank you so
Thanks
much,
for
Sandeep. It was a very powerful session, and I hope all the like all the entire audience is now aware about WOOTZAPP and what WOOTZAPP is trying to achieve. So yeah, this is just the first community project we have on board at Winter of Blockchain. And stay tuned. We'll be having some more projects on board. So yeah, that's all for now.
Thank
meanwhile
you guys. Thank you so much.
meanwhile you get the opportunity of being mentored by a cool industry professional. So yes, cheers to that, right?
Yeah.
And we'll be also like disclosing some other ones. We'll having some other sessions on a rollout basis, right? Thanks for joining, guys. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Right.